What's up everyone, James here again, and today I want to talk about something that comes up every few months through every promotional influencer that I know. Whether you're reading websites giving you advice on how to market your music, you're watching people like myself here on YouTube, or you're following one of the many social media accounts promising to give you insider tips and tricks, everyone has an opinion about when is the right time to release your new music. And today I'm going to throw my hat into the ring. I don't know if you'll love the answer, but it will be the most honest one that you're likely to find. So let's get into it. And before we get into everything, I do want to note that there is no specific date. So if you're watching this hoping to find the perfect month or season to release your music, I don't have one of those to share with you. My advice is much more thought out than that, because there is no perfect date. There is no magical time on the calendar when you should release your music. That's just not how this whole thing works. There is a matter of timing to be considered, and there are certainly dates you should avoid, but overall there is no perfect date. It's whatever works best with where you're at and what you think you can accomplish with the date that you choose. Now, diving into things right away, the first and perhaps most obvious factor to consider when finding the right time to release your music is whether or not that music is ready to be released. Meaning, is it done? Is it recorded? Is it mixed? Is it mastered? Are you ready to share it with the world? Is it the best that it can possibly be? Now, I know that that may seem obvious to some of you, but I have talked to many artists over the years who choose a release date before their album is completely ready, and they find themselves rushing from the moment that they announce a release date to the date that that thing drops to make sure it's everything that it can be, and there's really no need for that. There is going to be competition at all times, all the time, and really you need to make each release as special and as important as it can possibly be. So don't rush yourself. Make sure that the music is right first and foremost above all else. And until you have music that is perfect, at least as close to perfect as you can make it, don't worry about the rest of this video, just focus on that. But if you have the songs ready to go, let's keep going. The second part of this formula is figuring out your promo and making sure that you have everything ready to go before your release date, preferably before you even announce a release date. Now, just like writing music, making your promo the best it can possibly be absolutely matters, because let's be honest, competition is fierce, and there will be a small section of your audience that listens to and consumes everything you put out as soon as it's out there. But everyone else is going to need a little nudging. They're going to need a little push to get them to engage with your latest release. And the best way to do that is by having a ton of promo ready to go way ahead of your release date. Now, that includes the official announcement and saving tweets and Instagram posts and Facebook posts, but it's also all the little stuff: song clips, video clips, teasers of any kind that you want to create, memes, GIFs, anything that you can think of. And some artists have even started to take this a little bit further and created landing pages on their websites where they give fans these memes, these GIFs, these teaser images, everything that they need to help the band or the artist emphasize the message. Hey, we have something new and we want you to check it out. And you want to get this all done in advance of announcing, because again, you don't want to feel the pressure. You don't want to be worried about getting it done rather than getting it right. So give yourself plenty of runway to make all the promo materials you need. And if you want some additional advice on this topic, I always suggest just outlining your goals and figuring out what works best to make those goals happen. So if you have a new single coming out and your goal is to drive everyone to a specific streaming service, then you know that all of your materials need to point people to that streaming service. Or if it's a video, you want to drive everyone to your YouTube channel or everyone to the place where that video is going to be premiering, and you can kind of build everything around that. You can also just make a checklist. We need to have 10 tweets, 10 Instagram posts, 10 Facebook posts. We need to have 5 video clips, 5 song clips, X amount of memes, X amount of GIFs, everything that you can possibly come up with in advance, and then just work down the list. Figure it all out, put it into a folder that you keep on your phone and on your laptop or whatever computer device that you use, and have it ready to go at a moment's notice. Now, once you have all of this stuff ready, you have music that is as good as it can possibly be, and you have all the promo materials that you need to promote that music, be it a song, an album, an EP, whatever it is that you're choosing to put out into the world. You have everything you need to make it as good as you can possibly make it and make people aware of it. As soon as you have all of those things, then you need to figure out how much time you need to build up excitement for that release. Now, for some artists, this is a very small amount of time. I mean, someone like Ariana Grande can put out a song this Friday and next Friday drop an album and immediately get 20 million streams on that record. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're probably not Ariana Grande. You probably don't have that kind of fan base. And if you are, well, thank you for watching, Miss Grande, but this is for everybody else. You need to figure out how much time it's going to take to get people as excited as they can possibly be about your new material, but not so long that they get excited and then forget about it. So you don't want to go with a 6-month release window unless you have that much promo material ready to go, unless you have a very methodical plan for slowly raising awareness for your record over the course of several months. Maybe it's 3 months, maybe it's 6 weeks, maybe it's 1 month, but figure out how much time you need to make the conversation and the excitement around your music reach maximum volume. When people are just champing at the bit to get a hold of it, they're emailing you, they're tweeting just out into the world that they cannot possibly wait to see what you're going to do next because they heard it's going to be great, they think it's going to be great, they've seen a clip, and they're just hanging on for that announcement. And I can't tell you exactly how long that's going to take because, again, every audience is different. And if you have basically no fans, you might want to give yourself a little bit more room because you're going to be working harder than everyone else. You're going to have to build fans without just dropping music all the time. And if you have an established audience, well, it's really up to you to understand how your audience works. I mean, are you dealing with a younger crowd who is constantly online and is likely to see every single thing you post? Or is your audience a little bit older and therefore they don't look at the internet as much as everybody else does? They aren't plugged into what every single artist and every single band is doing. And it might take them a little bit longer to become aware of what you're putting out. I mean, these things will also factor into how you make your promotional plan, but when choosing a release date, it's all about when you have all the materials ready to go and how long you need to make people as aware of this as you feel you possibly can make it. And I'm going to say at least a month is pretty good. 6 weeks is even better, but very few artists, at least in 2020 and into 2021, will need 3 to 6 months to make this happen. The window is getting shorter, our attention spans are shorter. As soon as we learn about something, be it a movie, a TV show, or music, we want it right away. So you don't want to keep fans waiting too long, but find a window, give yourself, I'd say, at least 4 to 6 weeks, and then make a plan to promote. So let's say that we have 4 weeks and we've gotten together 3 video clips, 5 song clips, a bunch of teaser images, and of course some funny tweets or insightful tweets about the lyrics, whatever it happens to be. Go ahead to an app like Canva or just your calendar app inside your phone or your laptop and start plotting out what you're going to do on every single day leading up to that. Because there shouldn't be a single day of silence. You should be promoting via tweets, via Instagram, via everything all the time until that music is out. And I don't mean just constantly saying, get ready, it's coming, but you want to make engaging content. Talk about your process. Let people see behind the scenes photos and videos from recording or making the video, or just make yourself as available to your audience as possible while finding opportunities to plug the new single. As long as you're open, you put yourself out there and you start engaging in conversations and just raising awareness, then you'll have a strong rollout. So when is the right time to release your new music? It's whenever you can make the excitement and conversation around your music as loud and as unavoidable as humanly possible. And only you can figure out when that is. But I do want to say that there are some weeks that I would always tell people to avoid. For example, anytime the week of Thanksgiving through the end of the year, unless you're releasing a holiday album, is pretty much a dead zone because most blogs and major publications have already chosen the best of the year stuff and everyone else is busy with Christmas, other holidays, and everything else that's going on. And the attention given to new music, especially from young artists, is very small. So Thanksgiving through the end of the year, just write the whole thing off. And with that in mind, even the first week of January, you can probably write that off as well. And if you want to avoid the maximum point of competition, October is a really fierce time for new music. September and October, both actually, can be incredibly hard to get yourself noticed, especially again, if you're not a top tier artist. But if you're going at February, March, April, May, June, most of the summer, then you're gonna have the ability to fight your way to the top, to get on people's radar. But just avoid September, October, and the last 6 weeks of the year, and you'll probably be pretty okay. You can do this. I totally believe in you. And if you still have questions or you have concerns or you have a good idea but you don't really know what to do with the nitty-gritty of it all, that's why this channel exists. So go ahead and click the subscribe button down below because Music Biz brings you 1 to 5 videos every single week all about the music business. Sometimes it's tips, sometimes it's tricks, sometimes it's conversations with professionals, sometimes it's news headlines, but we're always talking about the music industry and we want you to be a part of this conversation. So please click that button. And if you've already done so, then you have my sincerest thanks. You make my job possible. And I just want to ask you to do one more thing, and that is that you take care of yourself because you deserve it.